Hello, YouTube. Back again. I just want to talk about a few things. I was watching the news and everybody know about this coronavirus. I'm not an expert on it. I don't even pretend to be an expert on any kind of disease or anything that's out there that's running amok among us and the people. All I know is that it's getting worse. It's just really getting worse. But I want to tell you one thing that I do know is that if you want to find out what's really going on with anything like in America, follow the money. I was always told, follow the money. You know, it's like they say the rich get rich and the poor get poor. And I'm one of the poor, I'm retired, fixed income, I'm not one of the elite rich. But I'm just saying, but if you want to find out what's really going on, follow the money. With this virus out there, it's going to make things even worse for small people, the middle class. It's crazy already. We already had that one flu, that H1N1 flu that's out already. It done affected over 60 million people. 13,000 dead. That's the normal flu that we get every year. That H1N1. They may give it many names, but that's the one we get. And like I said, but that's one flu. Now we get this second flu. So I'm just saying things are going to get bad. I'm not here to really talk about the flu. I'm here to talk about the income, the economy. Because, see, everybody's being distracted from what's going on. And I just want to tell everybody, look, keep your eye on the money. This whole impeachment thing where they spent, I don't know how many millions of dollars on impeachment. Where did they spend that money at? Who do they pay? Have you ever asked yourself, here's our government, who are they paying? I'm just saying. They spent all this money, so they say. But if you ask me, I don't think they spent that money. I think they split that money, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want the men in black to come to my house, kick in my door and take me away, talking about I done had a nervous breakdown or something like that. Do something to me or my family, but I'm just saying, just follow the money. Like a perfect example is, I see what they saying the economy is doing so great, but I see what Macy's closed 125 stores. Macy's. My wife loves Macy's, that's her store. And they laid off 2,000 people at their corporate office. It happens. A lot of malls closed. When I was a kid, not a kid, but when I was a young adult, going to the mall was, a nice thing to do. You take the family, you take the kids. You walk around the indoor malls, but now most of them closed. Really up here in Northeast Ohio, all of them closed. We don't have any. I think we got one indoor mall. But all the rest of them, they ghost towns or they got like one or two stores in there. So, that shows you how the economy was. And then you got how should I say this, the numbers that they playing with. How they talking about Americans are going to work at a record pace, that we're doing so well with our economy and that everything is doing great. Don't be fooled. 44% of all American workers between the ages of 18 and 64 hold low-wage jobs. That's with a medium income of $10.22. That's according to the Brook Institute. That's why you hear these people screaming about $15 an hour living wage rate, which $15 an hour is not a living rate. Really, $15 an hour? You're going to try to feed a family of four, you, your wife, and maybe two kids on $15 an hour? That's not going to happen. And people right now, between the ages of 18 and 64, which is 53 million people, are struggling to make ends meet on basically an income of $10.22 because some states' minimum wages are just above $7. Okay, and another thing, 15 to 20% of all men between the ages of 25 and 54 are absolutely not even in the workforce. They just gave up. You know what I mean? They're not in the workforce at all. I don't know what they get their income from. Maybe they doing disability, maybe getting some kind of supplement for something. I have no idea, but they're not even in the workforce. That's 15 to 20%. Yeah, but like I was saying, then you get all this stuff going on. This is a year of change. Like I said earlier in one of my other videos, I mean, you got this stuff that's going on with the locusts. I mean, I know everybody heard about the locusts. Nobody can explain the locusts. You got 360 billion locusts out there in Africa just eating up everything out in East Africa. I mean, they're consuming stuff like crazy. I mean, it's 40 miles wide. They're just going crazy. I mean, it's hitting Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Kenya. That's biblical stuff. I mean, like I told everybody in my last video, I believe we are in the end times. We're on the edge of disaster. I mean, I just got an uneasy feeling about this. I don't feel too safe or secure with the lack of information that I'm getting. I mean, the unthinkable thing is, what if it's all happening now? I mean, I get up here and I talk a lot on my videos, and I don't want to be the bearer of gloom and doom, because I don't feel that way. I mean, but right now I got this uneasy feeling that things are going to get worse before they get better. And a lot of people are going to die before we even know what's going on. Okay, a perfect example is, I'm talking about the follow the money, because that'll throw us in a tailspin before anything else in this country. And our government just sent China $100 million to fight this outbreak. And I think this pandemic, this flu, whatever it is, might be the fire starter that is going to bring us down. It might have a big impact on our economy, for the simple fact that we get a lot of stuff from China. When I was a kid, we used to joke, made in China, made in Korea, everything was made overseas. And so now everything just about is made overseas. And then if you can't get stuff coming in from overseas, like I was talking to a new subscriber the other day, she commented that she's worried about her business because she gets a lot of hair. I'm not going to give her name out, but a lot of hair from overseas from China. She imports a lot of hair. She does, the sew-ins and the weaves and all that stuff, and she get hair, and now she's worried about her supply line, getting cut off from China, because you don't know how that virus spread. They say it hangs in there for 9 days, so you just never know. And then another thing I was worried about was that a lot of these rich people, they buying up a lot of stuff over in Greenland in New Zealand, you know what I mean? They buying all this stuff, and they buying all this food, and that if you go online trying to buy stuff like from Mountain House or Wise Food, and you'll find that there's a shortage, because these guys, these billionaires, they done started buying all this stuff to stockpile these compounds. They're not building 1 or 2 compounds, they're building several compounds out there. So it's going to be crazy. I mean, you just got to watch it. It's just like what I say, you better be prepared, because I think we got a lot of Manchurian candidates out there in our government that don't even know that they are doing what they're doing, especially against the Second Amendment, where they want to disarm all of the Americans. And you don't want to do that, because like I told you, I had a dream. I'm not Martin Luther King, but I had a dream that bad things are happening if Americans are unarmed. I mean, I just worry about that, and like I begin to ramble and drift. But like I say, this is all probably prophetic that this stuff is happening, because I did see something else out there where they had bats in Australia. Someplace in Queensland, a town in Queensland, had thousands of bats. You got bugs and bats and locusts, and then you got the wildfires. But fortunately, they had a big storm come through and put most of the wildfires out in Australia. But I'm just saying, I mean, and then it's just getting crazy, and it's gonna make you think, because see, you better start praying and get yourself together, because see, a lot of us are not going to make it through whatever disaster is going to happen. And so if you're not spiritually ready for the end times, you got to have hope and be ready for the things that's going on, because it's going to be crazy out there. I mean, but anyway, I'm just beginning to drift a little bit, but let me get back on point. Okay, like I said, the S&P 500, the momentum is stalled for a minute, so you got to keep an eye on that. And like I say, just follow the money, all right? Follow the money. Keep an eye on what's going on. Like I say, survival food You can't really get these big survival foods like you could for a while there. They sort of low and out of stock. You go to the Walmart, they don't have any stuff on the shelf. You know, the prices are going up. And like I said, you don't know what's really going on. So, and then with this China thing, it's going to have an impact on the car factories because, you know, we get a lot of car parts and stuff from China. And if they shut down China and Korea borders and not letting supplies come in, those supplies will be going out either. I mean, they already quarantined 400 million Chinese over in that country out of the 2 billion people that they got or something like that. So look, I'm talking too long, and all I wanted to say is follow the money, stay prepared. You know, like Joseph said when the Pharaoh came and got him, and he said he had a dream, and the dream was 12 years of famine and 12 years of prosperity. You got to plan that way because we might have our 12 years of prosperity now, but you got to prepare for that 12-year drought that we might have coming up. So I'm just saying you got to be ready. I mean, food shortage is going to be out there, and I mean, you want to be thrown in a lion's den with no protection. I mean, thank you very much, YouTube. Everybody stay safe.